Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 12th of January, 2017. I was very busy yesterday, but I still have a lot of footage to put together. I did some pretty cool shit yesterday, and I'm going to make a video about it for you, and it's pretty amazing. But today, I am over here at NASA.com, and I am showing you the latest information coming out from the Hubble telescope. According to NASA, this delicate smudge in deep space is far more turbulent than it appears. Known as IRAS 1434-8-1447, a name derived in part from that of its discoverer, the Infrared Astronomical Satellite, IRAS for short. This celestial object is actually a combination of two gas-rich spiral galaxies. This doomed duo approached one another too closely in the past, causing them to affect and tug at each other slowly and then finally merge into one. The image was taken by Hubble's Advanced Camera for Survey, ACS. And then it goes on to explain that it's a billion light years away from us. It's one of the most gas-rich examples known. Blah, 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 so on and so forth. The only problem with this entire thing is, first off, just to start with, this picture is an artist's conception. This is not a real picture at all. Now, a lot of people are probably sitting there going, well, that's just your opinion. Well, I can do you one better than that. It's not only my opinion, it's also the opinion of the people involved with the Hubble telescope and the SOFIA telescope. Now, for those that don't know, there's a big difference. The Hubble telescope is a telescope that's allegedly roaming the atmosphere way, way out in outer space, and it's seeing this and it's seeing that, and it's chasing things down, and it's finding a small stellar galaxy, and it's in closer look for a galaxy, catches a transformation of the, all these claims they make over here. The problem is we have the director of Hubble and the director of SOFIA. Now, what is SOFIA, you ask? I'll show you. SOFIA is an airplane with a large telescope mounted on the side. Now, the problem I have with all of this, and the problem you should have with all of this, is that the pictures that NASA allegedly gets from Hubble match up identically with SOFIA. Now, who cares, right? Well, the problem with who cares is this is the kind of video you can get with a telescope and a camera, and this is the kind of video they can get with a fake airplane or a Hubble telescope. Now, this isn't just my words. I'm going to give you two phone calls, one to the director deputy of SOFIA and one to the director of the Hubble telescope, and you make up your own mind. The reason I'm even bringing any of this to light is the fact that they're lying about all this, that there's a telescope in deep outer space that's just roaming around. They have a perfect Wi-Fi connection with it. It's all working well. It's been out there for years, and it proves that we are just a little mistake. There's billions of other Earth-like planets, and we are nothing special. Well, I'm going to prove to you right now that that's all not only wrong, but it's just an out-and-out lie. Leave it in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the articles, all the information that I'm going to use in here will be in the links in the description box. Do not let them fool you. All of this is a lie. So if NASA's lying about everything, what's really going on? Well, I'll tell you, in my honest opinion, we were made in God's image, and these people are trying to destroy it. And that's why NASA is basically the word Satan right in front of your face. Notice the T? At any rate, enjoy.
So what's up, people? This is Robert Bassano. Coming to you guys today. Now, I got a follow-up email from the special agent in charge and resident investigator for NASA's Office of Inspector General Investigations Division. These are the guys that investigate fraud, waste, and abuse with NASA. Any type of contracting programs, you name it. They take complaints. So I got a follow-up email and it was pretty quick. It took them literally less than 24 hours to get back to me. And what I want to bring to you guys today is that the recommendation that was provided to me was that I contact the Goddard Space Center's Hubble Space Telescope team, HST. So we're going to do that today together. And we're going to see if we can get a hold of one of these team members.
For NASA Employee Directory, press 3. For spell the last and first name, then press pound. For Q, press 7. For Z, press 9. For help, press 0.
So they're asking me to spell the last name. Let's spell Krause's last name. So we got C-R-O-U-S-E.
For
Patrick Krause.
At extension 61067, press pound. To cancel, press star.
Press pound. Okay. Immediately disconnected as soon as we pressed his extension. So let's try one more time. Pat Krause, as soon as we click the number,
Thank you for calling.
They hung up on us.
Goddard Space Flight Center, located on Greenbelt Road in Greenbelt, Maryland, 20771. Please select one of the following. For directions to the center, press 1. For departmental directory, press 2. Please select one of the following. For public affairs, press 1. For visitor center, press 2. For the Office of Human Capital Management, press 3. For security office, press 4.
Miss Linsky?
Yes.
Mr. Miss Linsky, sorry about that. This is Robert Bassano. How are you? I'm a graduate student. I wanted to know if there was just a couple of questions you could help me out with some answers. I'm on you guys' website right now, and it's regarding Hubble.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you with?
I'm a graduate student at a university.
Okay. What?
I'm working on a MATLAB image processing toolbox application that processes a variety of images to determine the relation with other images that might have been manipulated or amended, or maybe it was to determine the original source. So for a project that I'm involved in, I'm actually using some of the images from Hubble and SOFIA to conduct comparative analysis. That's it. So I have some questions regarding HST that would help me out with kind of understanding a little bit more about some of the photos and images that are available on you guys' website that I'm looking at right now.
Okay. Well, I would have to refer you to our Science Institute for talking about the science images.
Well, no, I don't need to talk about the science images per se. Okay, I'm wanting to know if there are any available video images or any other assets in GeoSync that actually conduct sort of an inspection, a video or photographic inspection of HST as it goes around in GeoSync. Because I'm looking at all the videos you guys have online on NASA's website, and all the videos that I've seen, they're all CGI and computer-generated, illustrations and other type of computer-generated images that that are not original source, coming straight from Hubble or any other asset vehicle that may be within range of Hubble to take photographs of it.
Okay, but again, I would have to refer you to our Science Institute.
Well, you're the deputy missions operations manager, right?
Yes, I am, but I'm not at liberty to talk to you about specific Hubble items.
Well, I'm not asking for specific Hubble items. I mean, well, let me ask this general question: are you able to view Hubble in real time?
To view Hubble in real time? No,
Yeah. Are you able to obtain and view a real-time image of Hubble as it is right now, wherever it is?
No, we can't do that.
Or is there any other vehicle that can view Hubble in operation?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can I ask you how long you've been working on the team with the HST team?
I've been with HST over 25 years.
Now, have there been any real-time video, high-definition video images of Hubble at 330 miles or so?
Not that I'm aware of.
There are none.
Not that I'm aware of.
Wow. Hello?
Huh?
Yes, is this Nicholas Veronico?
Speaking.
This is Nicholas Veronico.
Yes, who's this?
How you doing, Mr. Veronico? My name is Robert Bassano. I'm a graduate student. I'm studying artificial intelligence at Stanford. I was wondering if you personally could be able to provide me with a little bit more detail on the SOFIA platform, or if you could recommend someone I could speak to. I'm working on an application that would allow for a machine learning program to pick up and identify specific objects using high-performance optical telescopes.
My instant thought is that there's a problem there because we see in the infrared.
You see in the infrared?
Yeah, so Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy.
Okay.
So it's not, we don't see things like an optical telescope. We have to find like stars near our infrared source, and we focus the telescope on a black spot in space.
Okay.
And then we get the infrared radiation through our instrument.
So Sophia views everything in the sky on an infrared scale, on wavelength, right?
That's where we do our research. We do our optical guiding through what you and I see.
Okay. So let's just say, whatever I'm seeing up in the sky, if I can see it with ground-based telescope, you would be able to see that same object in infrared.
Yes.
Okay. So now how
see things you can't see it with an optical telescope.
Okay. Now how does that compare to HST? Is Sophia linked? Is Sophia linked with HST?
No, they see out to about 5 microns in the infrared.
Okay.
And we go out to 250 to 300 microns right now.
Whoa. Are you serious? So wait, you're saying Sophia, which flies at around 45,000 feet, can see nearly 150 times further than Hubble in the infrared?
Yes.
Wow, Nick. Wow. How is that? Yeah. How is that possible?
Because we're apples and oranges. That's how.
Apples and oranges. So I like oranges. It's good in vitamin C. So which one? How big would be your orange and how big would be the apple?
Actually, both of our telescope mirrors are about the same size.
Yeah,
100.
And I absolutely didn't. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's the instruments they use are different than what we use, and that's really the only difference.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to determine, because I conducted a comparison of the technical specs of HST and the technical specs of SOFIA. So, and I know that the SOFIA program, well, not the SOFIA program per se, but the Stratosphere Observatory platform is older than HST. You guys have just been doing it on different aerial platforms, and it just grew to a 747. That's what I've been doing the history on. But I noticed that the technical specs are almost similar. But I'm trying to wrap my head around, how is it possible? You have HST, we're supposed to be 330 miles plus, beyond the exosphere. And you've got SOFIA, which is in the stratosphere. You guys are looking far beyond. You're looking through another couple of layers and looking way past HST, and you're able to capture things on a much more, would it be fair to say, a high definition type of quality in infrared?
I don't know about that, but so NASA has HST, they have SOFIA and infrared.
Okay.
They have Chandra and X-ray. They have all different observatories to cover all of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Okay.
And if we all look at the same thing, the same object, you're going to learn something different depending on, what wavelength you're looking at it.
Okay.
So that's why we have all these different telescopes. We can do things that others can't do, and they can see things that we can't see. So it's a good marriage.
Now, has there been occasions where SOFIA and HST are taking the same exact photo of the same exact object on the same day? No. What happens is we put out a call for proposals. As a matter of fact, there's one open right now. Okay. And we take all those proposals and they decide what is the best use of SOFIA. Okay. And then they award time to those proposals, and we go out and let's say you got 8 hours of observing time on, some star forming region. Okay. You might get 3 hours on one flight, an hour and a half on another, 2 hours on one, and How many platforms are there for SOFIA? Is there just one aircraft? One aircraft, but we have 7, 8 different instruments that we can use. Okay. But we only fly one instrument at a time. It takes about 2 days to change it. Now, is SOFIA still based in New Zealand, or is it in the U.S.? It's out of Palmdale is where the airplane resides, but the scientists are all in Mountain View. Okay. And we're having a science seminar, a conference down by Santa Cruz at the Asilomar Conference Center in October. Okay. And that's something you might want to go to. Asilomar. And let me see if I can let me get my computer started, and I'll. Because and something else that's interesting, because here's the thing. I had been looking at some of the images from SOFIA and HST, and I know this may sound weird, Nick, but I found a comparative photo from a ground observatory, SOFIA and HST, of the M82 supernova. The photo was taken around January 22nd of 2014. Now, hold your oranges apples for this one. They were taken on the same day. Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I was on SOFIA for that picture. You're kidding. You were on SOFIA when that picture was taken? Yeah. So you were on board when the infrared was taken of the M82 supernova on January 22nd, 2014. Oh, man. Did I get lucky with you? Did I get lucky with you? Man, thank you so much for verifying that. Is there any way you could actually email me because, I get the information online at you guys' site, but a lot of the information is just scattered all over the place because I'm not even sure if the photos for SOFIA online on NASA are up to date because I'm getting very limited from HST team. I spoke to people at HST, and you want to hear something interesting? Have you ever seen HST in real time in operation?
No.
You've never seen it. How long have you been with the SOFIA team?
8 years.
8 years? Well, here's the thing. Director Bolden was the mission commander for HST when it launched. Well,
right.
And they had the servicing missions. So I had a talk with one of the deputy program managers, and he had been working on the HST team for 25 years. And, I was, are you familiar with the FAI database? Federation Aeronautique Internationale?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know that vast majority of all of the STS missions are on that database, including Apollo and all the Russian launches in other countries, including Phyllis Baumgartner's records on there. So I went searching because I needed to know at what altitude did the STS-31 got to basically deploy HST. And I saw a recent video on JPL, it's on their website, where they show the 2002 servicing mission. And it dawned on me that STS in 2002 was on top of HST. Now, I thought that was actually a weird photo because it shows the Earth on the bottom, of course, and then it shows the STS shuttle on top of HST, servicing it, getting ready to deploy it. And then when I asked the question of HST team members, I said, wait a minute, when I put in, the flight date for HST in 1990, it's not there. And the response, was what I expected. NASA doesn't manage the FAI database. But when you put in the servicing missions, most of the servicing missions are there, but 2 of the servicing missions are not listed. Well, here's the kicker. HST launched April 24th, 1990. If you put in that flight number, the year, all of the crew member name for that flight, it's not in the database. So I asked HST, is there a reason why someone didn't submit the application or the documentation to the FAI for this? He says, I don't know. We don't manage that database. I said, that's understandable. And I said, but how is it that some of the servicing missions that are there, but the main mission to put HST at 330 miles is not there? That was supposed to be the greatest mass lifted to the greatest altitude, And I put in all the variables. I contacted AFI. They said that there was no problems with their database. They even looked back in their records. It took them about, a month and a half. And they said, well, we don't even have an application or any documentation that was filed for that mission. He goes, you might want to call back to NASA and ask them. So, of course, I called NASA to ask them. And, you figure in 25 years, somebody who's responsible for doing this, which they don't know who's responsible for doing it, they all said, that's interesting, just like you just did. That's interesting. So I asked the deputy project manager, is it possible? Have you ever seen HST? He says, no, I've only seen it on the servicing missions. I said, okay, you've seen the servicing missions. I said, but nobody's ever set eyes on it? He goes, no, we don't have optical tracking. I said, okay. I said, are you familiar with SOFIA? He says, yes, somewhat. So when I told him what the capabilities of SOFIA was versus Hubble, he says, no, you got it all wrong. SOFIA can't do infrared and wavelength like Hubble. I said, that's not true. I'm on SOFIA's website right now. And it says it in the OIG, in Office Inspector General report, what SOFIA is capable of doing in wavelengths. And I tried to share the document. He says, well, you know, they must have a new capability. I said, is that possible? Because the telescopes are almost identical. Almost identical. As a matter of fact, SOFIA at 45,000 feet can see things much further than HST in infrared. How is that possible? And he didn't know. So that's why I had to call you. Because I wanted to be clear that, you know, because sometimes, you know, when media information is put out and technical information, it might get mixed up with something else. And if I'm going to be drafting a research paper on this using artificial intelligence based on images you guys already taken, so that the API for this machine learning program will be able to discern what you looked at before to look for any other sort of anomalies, that paper needs to be spot on, because I want to publish it. And I can't publish something that's technically inaccurate and then I get laughed at. You know what I mean?